This is the all-new Mercedes AMG GT 63 4MATIC Plus. It brings together brutal V8 power, everyday comfort and Formula One inspired tech in one stunning package. We're going to look at what this car has to offer and chat with Santosh Iyer, CEO of Mercedes-Benz India. Stay tuned for that. Up front, it's everything you expect from an AMG: aggressive, purposeful and dripping with attitude. The Panamericana grille, that long muscular bonnet and the sharp aero detailing don't just look the part, they play the part. This is actually the first AMG in India to feature active underbody aerodynamics. Once you're past 100 km per hour, it generates a Venturi effect, essentially sucking the nose of the car down to the tarmac for better grip and sharper high-speed stability. From the side, it still carries that classic GT silhouette. Long nose, short tail, but make no mistake, this thing's hiding a supercar under the skin. It's its low on 21-inch AMG wheels, gets rear axle steering and a wider track, all of which translates to serious corner carving ability. What really makes it special though is the suspension. AMG's active ride control replaces old-school anti-roll bars with a high-tech hydraulic system. It reacts in milliseconds to keep the car flat and composed, whether you're attacking a corner or cruising on the highway. Around the back, it's just as dramatic. The adaptive rear spoiler moves through 5 positions depending on your speed and drive mode, while the quad exhausts, well, let's just say, they don't whisper. Under the hood is pure AMG magic, a 4-litre twin-turbo V8 handcrafted by a single technician. It makes 585 horsepower, 800 Nm of torque and launches from 0 to 100 kmph in just 3.2 seconds. And yes, each engine gets a signature plaque because this isn't mass production, it's craftsmanship. Inside, it's equal parts cockpit and luxury lounge. You get AMG-specific displays, 5 layout styles and the full-fat track-based telemetry system if you're chasing lap times. And here's something rare for a car like this: actual rear seats. They're small, sure, but usable, especially for kids or short trips. It's a reminder that GT isn't just for the track, it's built to be lived with. You've also got 6 AMG Dynamic Select modes from Slippery to Sport Plus and even full-on race. There's a drift mode too if you ever feel like turning all that grip into glorious oversteer. So yes, it looks stunning and sounds even better. But the GT63 is more than just a pretty face. It's a fully engineered F1-inspired V8-powered missile and it's finally here. Santosh, thank you so much for joining us on Overdrive and on CNBC TV18 today. My first question to you is, how are the 2 models that have launched in the country today, how do they fit into the portfolio of high-performance vehicles that you already have? And, especially in terms of the top-end vehicle strategy.
Sorry, thanks for joining us for the launch. So, if I go back now, almost a decade back, the first car in this family was the SLS AMG, the iconic Gullwig design. And I still remember when we got this into India, the question was, do we have enough enthusiasts? I think we have come a long way. AMG is a brand for performance driving in India now, very synonymous. A lot of customers have not only bought the SLS, we have also one on display right here, the 10-year-old Gullwing. But even post that, we launched the GT, the Night Series, and we can see a lot of customers not only buying these cars, but using it on the tracks on a private basis. Some customers are even making their own tracks in India now to enjoy these cars. Not only our brand, but to enjoy other performance cars as well. But also using it on the public roads, because I think over this last decade, the road infrastructure in India has also increased. So you can also take them out and enjoy. Today's launch, we have 2 versions. We have the 63, which is at around 3 crores. It's a classic 4-seater coupe. On the other side, we have a very track-focused Pro, which is a 2-seater and much more on the track than maybe on the roads. But these cars are versatile enough. A lot of Formula One based technologies, what we do has been getting into this car. So I think it takes the performance driving to the next level for the enthusiast. And interestingly, even before we are launching today, our hardcore customer base, they're already in touch with our teams. So we have almost more than 10 customers who have already booked these cars.
That was going to be my next question about the allocation of these models in India. And I wanted to also ask you, of course, it seems like the demand has outpaced the supply.
Yeah, so right now, these cars we start delivering in end of this quarter 4, basically end of the year. And then we are also open for new orders and new bookings because these have life cycles that just been launched. And the car that I just shared was a left-hand drive car. So actually we still don't have the right-hand drive version globally. And but we want to get in cars as early as possible to Indian customers. They also want the latest and they are not prepared to wait. So therefore, they are already launching the car, and by end of this year, they get the first right-hand drive cars being produced in the world in India.
So who are the intended customers for these two models? Are they already AMG customers, or are you also targeting some high net worth individuals to join into the AMG family?
Firstly, there is a growing breed of performance car driving enthusiasts. So we are also introducing and announcing today that we will be doing more track events and more driver trainings on tracks. So we want to conquest, get new customers into performance motoring. I would say, one of our customer took the GT Black Series last weekend in Natrax. And there were many cars, but I'm happy to say that the GTs just smoked them out clearly there. So I think there is a pedigree. It's a very small community of enthusiasts as well. So, but it's a growing pride. So surely the first go-to is our current base of AMG lovers, but this pride increases, and surely these cars will also find owners into other competitors, customers, I would say, who would also now shift or would love to shift to an AMG.
And in the country, of course, electric and hybrids are taking over in terms of the high-end performance luxury market, right? So will we see a hybrid AMG GT63 in the future?
So a couple of these cars, have the hybrid technology as well, because it definitely uses different powertrains. But let me go back 2 days back. We just unveiled now the GTXS concept in Affaltabad. More than 1000 horsepower, 0 to 100 in 2.1. It's actually, these cars are even going to hypercar territory and street legal as well. Right. So what electric offers is a very different spectrum of motoring, I would say track performance and also outside. But at the same time, there is hardcore combustion engine loyalists. They say, no, for me a sports car has to be a combustion engine. So for us as a brand, our responsibility is to offer option. So the same GT XX that we previewed is in electric. We have the GT and the GT Pro in combustion engine, 8 cylinders. So we will continue this path even in the future. And hybrid is again a powertrain which is there in many of our cars, which will also eventually find its way in some of these performance cars based on its lead state. So we are agnostic to that. Let the customers decide what is best for them.
But Mercedes-Benz has seen most of its growth coming in from the top-end vehicles, right? So what is lending to the demand in terms of the coupe body form, in a high-performance vehicle?
So two things. One is, of course, these are more than the body style, the street credentials, the track credentials are there for these cars. So that's what makes the enthusiast going in. But also with these cars now, we have opened up the manufacturer individualization options.
Yeah.
So you can really customize or plan and order the car of your choice, much more personalized. I think that's also a big thing for these customers, because they want it as individualized as possible.
Right.
So that makes this car really stand out. But yeah, they also want it as early as possible. That's as I said earlier. Yeah. The reason of introducing and showcasing a left-hand drive car is to say yes, and the first right-hand drive cars in the world should come into India.
So how much investment will go into just the AMG range in terms of, say, the retail, the portfolio, as well as the customer experiences?
So on the customer experience, there are two types of investments. One is the marketing investment, which is to do with SSD, track days, driver training programs. That would be, that's one set. Other are for product-related investment or infra, like our dealers. So we just inaugurated an Aclear concept in Chennai, where customers can actually not only personalize the cars, but also have an in-depth discussion on some of the consultation, I would say, on these cars. So overall, in transforming our retail network, we are investing 450 crores in the next 2 years in our retail network to transform to more personalized and more luxury environment at our retail network.
Santosh, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. Pleasure.